Guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Welcome back to El Noche Podcast.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. We can add claps into post. Little confetti
We'll
for
put
the
one
YouTuber.
Not the multiple claps, just one clap.
Just one
like...
clap. We are your hosts, Raemon
and Michelle.
Welcome back, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry about the wait, but we were still riding the high from the Hokum train and stuff like that, and it was fun. It was great.
No, for sure. I think this is like a perfect time to do some housekeeping. Housekeeping. So Ramon and I, we're still kind of winging this because this is more of a passion than a job. Mm-hmm. We do have lives, unfortunately, and we do have jobs. It's, it is what it is. We got to pay the bills.
Capitalism.
In this economy. And so we've decided that we will be doing 2 movies each month. I can't guarantee that it'll immediately come out the first week of each month, but there'll be 2 episodes each month.
Yes, 2 episodes. So, keep a lookout on our socials, because that's where we'll be posting, our schedules and when the episodes will be out and all this stuff. So follow us on El Noche Pod everywhere.
Podcast. El Noche Podcast.
Well, El Noche Podcast. I don't want to be all cool and hip and everything. I'm trying not to be unk, Michelle. All right.
Listen, we're at unk age. You must speak unk.
Speaking Uncanese.
Either way, 2 episodes a month. Also, we still have to figure out what movies we're watching each month also, which is outside of this podcast recording. But if there is a movie you guys want us to cover, you can either do it in the comments of preferably on the ones that when we release their schedule ones, or you can go to our email, elnochepodcast@gmail.com, just put a movie recommendation, and then you can put the movie title in the subject or in the body. I don't know what it's called. I forgot what emails work like.
Just, for the subject, you could put a movie suggestion or whatever like that. And then in the body, you write us a heartfelt letter, It'd be great.
Give us an essay of why you want us to cover this movie.
Yes. And if it's good enough.
Don't use AI. We'll know if you're using AI.
But yes, we love to see it. We love to hear from you guys. And also, you can just leave us a comment and we'll see that.
Eventually, we'll see it. No, I'm just kidding. We will.
Engagement.
Yeah. But we're happy that you guys have been enjoying our first 2 episodes. And we hope that we can keep this train going with episode 3. What's the movie we're covering, Ramon?
When Evil Lurks. You gotta say it like that.
Lurks. Yes, we are doing When Evil Lurks.
Yes.
It came out in 2023. It's an Argentinian film. Also, from what I saw, United States was also part of the production, I guess, with the funding.
Yeah.
The Spanish title is... Excuse me, let me get my Spanish
hat
on. Cuando acecha la maldad.
That was great. That was better than what I would do.
I had to ask my mom.
Oh, really?
To make sure I'm pronouncing it right.
Michelle, come on.
Michelle, ¿por qué? Just, That's so but yeah, so the summary is in a remote village, 2 brothers find a demon-infected man just about to give birth to evil itself. They decide to get rid of the body only to end up unintentionally spreading chaos.
As men do.
Ramon said it first.
I said it
He's
first.
A man. This movie is directed and written by Demián Rugna, and it stars Ezequiel Rodriguez as Pedro, Damian Solomon as Jimmy, or Jaime. It's weird. I forgot how they said it in Spanish, but it's a shortened nickname for Jaime. Silvina Sabater as Mirtha, Virginia Garofalo as Sabrina, Emilio Vodanovich as Jair, which is the older son to Pedro, and Marcelo Michinov as Santino, the younger son to Pedro. And what's interesting, when I was looking up the casting, Uriel is played by two people named Pablo and Gonzalo Galarza. So I'm guessing they're either twins or like brothers, maybe.
Okay.
But the voice was done by Berta Muniz.
So it's like three people.
Yeah.
Like
so it's kind of like a Darth Vader situation, you know?
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, so I was just like, oh, damn. So that is cool. And do you want to start with like how you felt? Like, let's start with like, was this the first time you seen the movie?
So this was not the first time I've seen the movie. I've seen the movie, I want to say like about 2 years ago. It was on Shudder, and it still is on Shudder if you guys want to watch it. If you do not want any spoilers, we'll let you guys know when the spoiler alert is about to happen. But yeah.
You guys know the sound.
I would
2 episodes in.
Yeah, I know, right? I would suggest watching it. I do think it's a good movie. But yeah, this is not my first time watching it. It's actually my third time watching it.
Ooh.
Yeah. After the third time, I'm just like, all right, I don't need to see this again. But
yeah, no, this is not my first time watching it. I think I watched it either the year, like literally the year it came on Shudder.
Yeah.
I think it was when I was living with you.
Yeah. Maybe.
When Michael and I were living with you, and I watched it.
Or you guys just moved out, because I watched it after you guys left, I think, and I stumbled on it because it was like streaming on their like their live TV thing, and I caught it in the beginning. I was like, oh, what is this?
Yeah, I think it might have been when we were still living with you, or after we just moved out.
Yeah.
So the first time I watched it, I really loved it. It was like a solid 4 stars for me. And then recently watching it, I was like, 3.5 stars.
3.5? Why did it go down a half star for you?
Let me get my notes. In my notes.
We got a note taker.
You got a note taker.
Nerd.
Because
just kidding.
We didn't record this right away. For me, I think I noticed a lot more of the flaws this time around than I did the first time. Like the first time I was just like, I was in it. I was there. And then I think this time around, what was it? It was like the black transitions, the fade to black transitions were much more noticeable.
Yeah, they were bad, I was like, dude. It was almost like a commercial break kind of thing. I was
just like, I guess they were fitting in commercial breaks. And the kill scenes, I felt they lost like the impact that they had the first time I watched it. There was one scene, and it was the dog scene.
Yeah.
It still freaked me out, but that's because, my history with...
Oh, yeah. I get that.
So, but everything else, I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think some of it, watching it for a third time, I think some of the kills were, like, they were good. I think the first time you watch it, you're like, oh, damn. But, like, the third time you watch it, you're like, all right. But honestly, like, I wouldn't dock it, for me at least, right? When I do, like, a review or whatever like that, and if I watch the movie, like, a couple different times, and by the third time, you know what to expect, and, like, things kind of lost the spark. So I kind of judge it based on the first time I watched it and that first feeling. But when I first watched the movie, I think everything was fine to me. Like, there's things in the second and third time that I've caught. Like, this time around, I was like, oh, that's what? Like,
no, for sure. And like, that's why it still has the half star, because they're watching it this time around. The details that I didn't realize were the details, especially like, I love the world building aspect that they had.
Yeah, the world building was cool.
Especially because like, realizing now, like, the world of When Evil Lurks is a post-demonic possession pandemic that happened. And so we're living in a post like pandemic world, and it kind of gave like that COVID kind of vibes.
Yeah.
But like the details, this is one of those movies that I was like, oh man, this would have been better as a TV show, because we could have expanded more on all of that, especially with Mirtha. But either way,
it'd be cool to see like a movie or a TV show or something like that where Mirtha like when she was in her prime and she was like the person, like one of the cleaners or one of the monks or whatever like that. I think that would have been cool. That would be cool to see, like if he was to ever do it. I don't know, but if you're out there listening, please bless us with a TV show or another movie, like a prequel.
Yeah, especially because like they had that intricate device and we never see it be used.
Yeah.
They keep teasing us with it and I'm getting blue balled each time.
If they had like a scene, I can't remember, right? Like it may have happened in the first few minutes of the movie where they're going through this guy's stuff. And there might have been like instructions or like how the device looks like assembled.
I think, it was when they find the dead body in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Well, so they find the suitcase with the device and it's all like in pieces. The brothers do find this booklet, but I don't think it talks about how it's assembled. I think it's just like a report kind of like thing.
It doesn't talk how it's assembled or anything. I do wish that they had a little bit of lore, or at least Mirtha, when you go find her, she gives you a little bit more lore about that device and how to kill infected and all this stuff.
Well, from what she said is that she has to like shoot that spike, like the silver spike or whatever, into the back of the neck.
Yeah.
But, shit goes down that we don't get to see that. And so it's a little frustrating. I will say I will spoil this part because I know, like, not so much that it's like a trigger warning, but like it is a kind of like a big thing.
Minor spoiler alert.
Minor spoiler alert. The thing that triggered me, my PTSD, there is a dog attack on a small child.
Yeah.
And it's from behind the dog and the girl, and when the dog lunges, it does cut real quick, but you still like kind of see the lunge.
Yeah, when that happened, I thought it was like super good pacing when that happened though.
Yeah, I thought it was super good too.
Because it was like the first time you watch it, they do build up some crazy anticipation because the camera's always like going back to this dog, and this dog is like just sitting quiet, not doing anything, just looking at these adults argue and stuff, and all this chaos is happening in the house, and he's just sitting there.
And all that tension is just building up.
Yeah, and then it's like, it's like going from the adults to the kid to the dog to the dog from the two back to the adults, and I'm like, something's gonna happen, dude. Like this dog's kind of messed up, and then
I had to hold. I was like, Michael, give me your hand. I need it. I was like holding his arm, to get through it because I knew it was coming. The first time I saw it, like I jumped high.
Yeah.
I think I had to pause real quick, but Michael was there, so he was able to like help me. So that's the spoiler.
All right. So back to non-spoiler.
Yeah, I think for me is that if I enjoyed the movie, I always rate it high. It's like around the second time shows whether it deserved to stay in its place or it goes down, or if I had like thought about it after a while and I'm like, I think I need to take half a star off. So like it's just like, and not to say that this movie was bad. Like I know like first time you're gonna watch it, you're gonna be like, oh, that movie was crazy. And then the second time you watch it, you're gonna be like, okay, nothing crazy. But it is what it is. And like you should still go in with as little information. But yeah, I still enjoyed it. It's just a 3.5 stars.
Yeah.
And kind of like go like on a little tangent. The director, he did this movie called Terrified.
Yes, and it
came out
it keeps popping up on my Shudder like suggestions, and I'm like, I will watch you.
It came out in 2017. This is the movie that has like there's this one image from the movie that I keep seeing before I realize it came from this movie, and it's this little boy that's like all corpseified and like kind of fucked up looking, sitting at a table like with little fork and like whatever, I guess ready to eat. And so like I saw that and I misremembered it as it being from The Devil's Backbone, Guillermo del Toro's movie. And then after I rewatched Devil's Backbone, I was like, where's the little creepy boy? And then I find out that it's in this movie Terrified, and I'm like, oh, I should, I want to watch it. We'll cover it for the podcast for sure. He also did, I guess, a segment in Satanic Hispanics, which I didn't realize it was an anthology movie But now I kind of just like I want to watch it also for the
Yeah.
podcast when we start covering anthology movies like VHS and all of that.
Oh yeah, VHS. The first one's very good.
Yeah. Also, just so you people aren't confused, the movie's Terrified with a D,
Yeah,
not
not Terrifier.
Terrifier
Yeah.
with an R. Totally different movie, not even Spanish. We will cover those 3 soon to be 4 in the future, especially 2. I love 2. But that's not what this podcast is. It's about When Evil Lurks.
Yeah. So I thought, like, for me, like, it was just some things about, it's like, especially about the ending, kind of, I was like, okay. I felt like it was a little bit rushed, a little bit, just a little bit, in my opinion, for my taste. I don't know. I'm also not like a crazy movie critic, but like, yeah, as a first time viewer, phenomenal. I think it's great. The characters in the movie are really good. They're really good actors. Definitely would recommend watching it in Spanish, in the original language. I think
Did you at any point watch it in English?
I did not, but I would
Okay.
assume that it's not as good. And it's always like a little jarring to see, like, to not have the lips sync, you know?
Mhm.
So I don't like that. So I try to watch everything in its like original like form.
So you're more of a sub than a dub guy. Got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. For all my anime people out there, you know.
I go either way with
um
dub or sub. It
yeah,
depends.
it depends. Like, I can't watch Dragon Ball Z, so I'm sorry, I can't do it. But anyways,
Yeah.
um but I did think that in the movie, I thought of this like cool like comparison. It's actually funny, it made me laugh. But you remember Goofy movie? You remember
Yeah.
you remember Goofy movie where Max, he takes the map and he changes the direction that they're supposed to
Yeah.
go and stuff. So I was like, watching the movie for the third time, you're like, dang, like you're like Goofy in the car and you're like coming at the crossroads. All right, Maxie, where are we gonna go? And then they take the unexpected route and you're like just sitting in the car just frowning.
To build off of that, I was like watching it a second time around. I was like, the men in this movie just keep making the worst decisions every time. And there's so many points where I'm like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Oh my God. Why? Of course they don't care. Why would they care?
Well,
Like, with the
Jimmy,
cops, it
Jimmy
just.
actually Jimmy actually was the voice of reason for a little bit, and then his brother was so like, he's such a like a butthole and like so like stubborn. He wanted to do everything his way. So his brother, just like Jimmy, just took a back seat and was just like, all right, I'm gonna just watch all this play out. And it's like, no, you gotta trust your gut, man. Stand up for yourself.
No, and for sure. And when we get into the spoilers part, like we'll dive deeper into
Yeah.
that. But yeah, like for sure that there's another part that made me laugh, and it was like kind of towards the end, and it's when Uriel is in the floorboards and he has half his head popping out. The first time I watched it, I died laughing. The second time I watched it, I still died laughing because I was just like, this fucking troll.
That's something Mike would
Like,
do.
that is what Michael would do. And like, you have to understand, I'm sure at some point I put an image of Uriel, but like how Uriel looks in the movie is he's like very bloated and like rotting, and they call them the rotten.
Yeah, the rotten.
Because their bodies are slowly like just deteriorating because they're possessed by a demon that's trying to come out. And I just seen his fat deteriorating head just looking over, and he's like, kill me, Pedro. And it's just like, shut up.
Yes, do it.
Do it.
just Photoshop Palpatine's head on. Do it.
But those for sure. Also, I think an important note is when Mirtha says that evil loves children and children love evil. And I was like,
bars.
I was in my head. We might make a short out of this, but in my head, I think about that Vine a long time ago where it's just like, what's worse than a rapist? A child.
Jeez.
Do you remember Do you remember
No.
that Vine?
No.
Oh my, you will remember when I send it to you and you'll be like, oh my God, what a throwback.
We have to bleep that word out, by the way.
No, keep it in.
That's crazy.
I'm not bleeping anything.
We got a badass here, y'all.
All right, fine. I'll bleep child. I'm sorry.
No. That's crazy.
Oh, I will say, when Evil Lurks does give me a little bit of Evil Dead vibes. And I wouldn't be surprised if it influenced them.
I could see why you say that. I saw something that the Demián, he got the inspiration from like pesticides or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like stuff that was going on in Argentina.
Mm-hmm. I think I read that too.
Yeah, I didn't read the whole thing. I read the like a little.
Yeah.
All right, you want to get into the spoilers now?
Yeah, we can get into the spoilers. Right now, we will play the clip for the spoiler. Ramon, do the sound. Yeah, so I think it kind of like the movie begins where like the two brothers, Pedro and Jimmy, they hear gunshots and they're like, oh, like they're kind of debating like, should we go check it out or not? And like they're like, nah, let's check it out in the morning, which is kind of a good idea. But knowing later, it's kind of like they probably should have went. So
I will say in this part right here, it kind of caught me, like the writing for the two characters caught me because it kind of shows you like that they have a lot of like good knowledge on things. So
oh yeah, when Pedro was calling the shots of like each gunfire.
Yeah, I was like, this is cool. I like how they're breaking down the shots and be like, oh, like it was multiple shots, so it couldn't have been a hunter. Like it probably was something else or whatever like that.
They're like, oh, but I only did 5 shots, so it's a revolver.
Yeah, dude. I thought that was really cool. Like a nice breakdown and a really good introduction to the director's writing. Like I was like, this is sick.
Yeah. I will say it's misleading because you're like, oh, this Pedro guy seems smart. And then the more the movie progresses, you're like, Pedro, you idiot.
Yeah, but it also shows the deterioration of like his critical thinking, right? It's just like, okay, the more crazy shit happens, the less he thinks about anything, like consequence wise. But yeah.
And like the thing is they even say the certain rules that they have to follow, but they never follow through with it.
No, I was like, all right. So one of the rules is like, oh, don't bring things to the animal or something like that. It's like, okay, I'll scratch that one
I
off.
will say, so like rule number 1 is abandon all possessions.
Yeah.
Clothes worn must all be burnt, which we will get into that part.
Yes.
But yeah, but like so, you know, the next morning they go to check it out and they're like trying to figure out, oh, who could have killed. They just find the torso of this man or woman, who knows. And the dogs are trying to like chew on the intestines and Jimmy's like, get away from that. And I'm like, oh my God, these dogs. These dogs.
Yeah, they kept sniffing and
trying to die.
Yeah, I'm like, oh man, dude. Like, and y'all just casually, the fact that they're like, I guess it's a testament on how the world is too, that they're so desensitized to a person being cut in half that they're just casually talking and trying to investigate around this dead body. And it's like, oh, so this isn't you guys' first rodeo, like at all.
Yeah. So, and then they eventually find a piece of paper of the license of this woman, and then they decide to go to her house.
Right.
And that's when you find out that her oldest son, Uriel, is possessed and has been possessed for a year, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
And there's also a younger teen brother. You know, they're like deciding like, should we tell the landowner Ruiz or should we go to police? And I think they end up going to the police first, right?
Yeah, they went to the police first and they try to explain it and everything to the police. And they're like super dismissed.
Yeah, they're like, not my monkey, not my circus.
Literally
kind of thing.
That. I was like, bro, this is crazy. Like, y'all not even going to go and like stop by the house?
They're like totally like, no, that's not gonna, like, how do you even know that it's a rotten? And just like, if you go see him, you will know, you know? But it also doesn't help that Pedro and Jimmy are like, well, I mean, you know, if I don't know, but like, he doesn't look right. And it's just like, no, you gotta be firm with what you saw.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then when they get back, Ruiz shows up And Ruiz is the landowner, and like he's pissed about it because
Yeah.
he's like, oh, my land is gonna get messed up, and I
Yeah.
should have kicked out those immigrants when I had the chance, and blah blah blah. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
And he was saying that like if people find out about it, then people are going to leave and people are not going to want to come visit and all this stuff like that. So he suggests removing Uriel
Yeah.
from the shop.
Which is kind of brings us to rule number 4. Do not hurt the possessed. And it comes up a lot where they're just like, you can't hurt them, kill them, or like insult them because it feeds the demon inside, because it's like it's what they want. It's just like, yes, the more you do to me and this body, the more I get stronger. Yum 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 yum, you know. And so like, you know, Ruiz was gonna shoot Uriel, and like the mom and Eduardo are like begging him not to do it. And then like eventually he decides like especially when Pedro and Jimmy come back and they decide like, we'll just move the body.
Yeah. Yeah. So they basically decide to get a blanket. It's gross, guys. It's like
it took 2 blankets.
Yeah, it took 2 blankets because he fell through the more thin sheet, the bed sheet.
Yeah, because he's been laying on it for a year.
Yeah,
so.
and he's been like all this ooze and junk and is like secreting out of him. It's like really it's like really nasty.
Do not eat if you have a sensitive stomach.
Yeah, don't eat and watch this movie. But yeah, they basically get him on the truck and they drive really far away out of town. And while they're driving, they're all like arguing and stuff like that in the car. And like in scary movie fashion, while everybody's like not paying attention to the road, there's this kid that goes out into the middle of the street and they swerve, misses the kid, and they keep driving. They get to this one spot, they get out of the truck and they're like, yep, this is a good place to drop him. And then he goes behind the truck and it was like, bro, so you wouldn't believe what happened. I think he just fell out of the truck when we swerved. And then Ruiz is like, all right, well, it's far enough anyways.
Yeah, because he's like, how far away are we? 100, whatever? Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, he's like, it's good. All right. How about a beer, guys? How about a beer? You want a beer?
Yeah. Which the crazy thing is that car is covered in Uriel's oozy, pussy blood, like every ew.
Yeah.
And according to rule 1, you're supposed to burn it, And so it's just like, truck. Oh, great. You brought back your truck, your dirty ass truck.
Crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy, especially that they know the rules, or at least like Pedro and Jimmy know the rules, and they're like, oh, we should burn our clothes. Like, we leave, we can't take anything, but they still leave in the same clothes that they had. And then Ruiz obviously never cleaned his truck. And so, to jump ahead, because like it's kind of like all in the same kind of like, one of Ruiz's goats gets possessed.
Yeah.
Which is the best part, is the goat just kind of like staring him down. And like he has a pregnant wife who's like freaking out. It's a swarm of goats and she's like, oh, it's this goat. And then he shoots the gun in the air and all the goats leave except for this one goat who's just like, yeah, buddy, shoot me.
Yeah. He walks up to the barrel of the gun and put his head there. I'm like, oh God, okay.
Yeah, which is also rule number 2, avoid animals, because animals, I guess, are like the first sign that possessions are like happening. Especially when we learn from Mirtha later on, when she mentions that the possession hasn't advanced far enough because you can still hear the birds and the crickets chirping. Yeah. But to jump back, that goat was Palpatine. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Just photoshops everything. Everything that gets possessed with a Palpatine head.
Is a do it. And I feel like this is the goat that Robert Eggers wished he had, because, on The Witch, he said that, don't work with goats. But this goat is kind of just like walks up to the barrel and then like, obviously Ruiz shoots it. This is still a crazy part. But again, like, because I know it's happening, the impact isn't as impactful. And like, the wife axes Ruiz in the from behind, and then after he dies, she flips that axe around and then just axes her own face.
Yeah, which is the iconic, like, you see the thumbnail of the movie.
Yeah, and it kind of just like, it's kind of showing us like kind of like how the possessions work.
Yeah. So I don't know if you caught it. I caught it. So they did a little oopsie in that part, in that scene, where she turns the axe on herself After the first time, and you guys, if you watched it, pause it. So after the first time she whacks herself with it, she pulls it out. There's no blood on the axe.
I don't think I noticed it. I think I'm like locked in, but not locked in, you know?
Yeah. I was like, wait, what? Did I see that right? But it happens quick, so pause it.
But
That's funny.
it does feel like it is like a bit CGI when she's putting it in her face.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that I didn't notice that there was blood on the axe because I was more focused on like, oh, CGI face. I mean, how else are you going to axe someone's face while they're trying to do it themselves?
It's probably why they like kind of left it in, because it happens so quick that it's like, oh, okay. And your brain, you're not really focused on it. Like your first time watching it, you're not going to notice it. You're not going to notice it your first time. And I watched it 2 more times after. So like the third time I was like, wait, what? Did I see that right? But yeah.
And then we kind of go back to Jimmy and Pedro, and like they're trying to decide like what their next course of action is, which again is like, first you should have burnt your clothes, but whatever. You should have burnt your clothes, burnt the truck, just walked back naked. Yeah. But it is what it is.
Walk of shame.
And then Eduardo shows up, and it's in the middle of the night, and he's like asking to like stay at their place because their mom disappeared after they took Uriel, and he's scared, and like he has a gun on him that Jimmy points out because he's just like, no, he has a gun on him, like just send him away. And so Pedro's like, you can stay in the shed, but you got to leave the gun. And so like Eduardo agrees, and then next morning Jimmy and Pedro go into the city. Is it like a town?
It's a town, yeah.
Yeah. Because Pedro is like, shit's happening. I got to get my family. Yeah. Which is like his 2 sons, one of which, the older son, Jair, he's autistic, but like on like the far side of the spectrum, like nonverbal, kind of violent, because like Pedro has to keep telling him not to bite himself. And then his younger son, Santino. And so like he has Jimmy drop him off at his ex's house, which is the whole thing with the dog happens. And this scene is the scene that made the men are useless in this universe even more. Because like Sabrina is just like Leo's her new husband. Is like, Leo, get this guy out of here. Yeah. And then Leo's like, well, I don't know. And then Pedro just bursts in. He's just like, no, I got to explain to you. And he's like getting naked.
Yeah, dude's like getting naked in the house. Like, I'm like, bro, what is? I was like, bro, like, why aren't you like kicking this dude's ass right now, kicking him out the house?
Yeah, and then you see the dog just full on like just sniffing
his clothes.
Those clothes. And knowing what we know with the goat scene, we're like, oh no, when is it gonna happen? Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. And like Sabrina is like freaking out, and like Pedro's like, I gotta, like, something's happened, like we dealt with a possessed, and Sabrina's just like, you're not supposed to be here, there's a restraining order. And Leo's like, should I call the cops? I don't know if I should call the cops.
Like, what? What happened?
And then like the little girl is playing with the dog, and Pedro's like telling his youngest son to wake up his older brother, and like it's just a lot of back and forth. Like at some point, like they give him clothes because they're like, we don't want you naked in our living room. And they're just arguing. And then the scene where the dog just full on bites the little girl's face. And like, and it's like ragdolling her on the other side of the living room. But the dad doesn't notice. I guess his stepson, Santino, Pedro's actual son, is like, hey, like, look, Vicky is getting messed up, you know? she's getting messed up. And he's like, what? Like, what do you want? And then he like looks under the table, and the dog just runs away with her body, like ragdolling. This is important where you should teach your dogs drop it.
Yes, exactly. And then by this time, like everything, all hell's like breaking loose inside of the house. Like mom's hysterical for good reason. And
Leo's going after the dog.
Yeah, he runs after Leo's to tell him to not kill the dog. And he's doing a lot of running. He finally catches up to Leo, and Leo has already shot the dog, but he's about to shoot the dog again. He's like, you can see Pedro's like, fuck, dude.
Which is another like a thing I was like trying to like understand about the possession also, because like obviously like Pedro looks away the last second when Leo does the killing blow.
Yeah.
and
But
he doesn't get possessed, but Leo does get possessed.
so yeah, Leo gets possessed. I know the lady was saying that she explains to Jaime they can't get into certain people's minds or something like that to control them because they're not scared or something like that. Or they can use like the fear or whatever against them to like manipulate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is kind of goes into rule 6 and 7. 6 was do not use firearms, which we saw Ruiz use against the goat
Broke like 3
and
rules
Leo
there.
used against the dog.
Broke like 3 rules.
Yeah. And then 7 is do not be afraid, especially afraid to die.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's thing I noticed because it's like going back, like after Pedro like leaves Leo to deal with the dog, Pedro uses this opportunity to try to get his sons and like trying to get them to start moving and like just kind of like, where's the car keys? Where are the car keys? We need to go, you know? And like he's able to convince his older son Jair to show him where the keys are, and they go in the car. And then like the little girl comes back and the mom is like, oh my God, like someone find Leo.
Unscathed.
That Vicky's okay. Unscathed, no dog marks. But the little girl is obviously possessed now.
Yeah.
Because she's like, Daddy's gonna kill you, mommy.
Yeah.
And
she like tells the mom like exactly how it's going to happen. And the mom just does not care. She just cares that the daughter's back. Seemingly.
Yeah. And then like you see Leo just like drives into Sabrina. Vicky jumps out of the way. And she's just dancing with glee at the violence.
Yeah.
But this is what I'm saying, because like Pedro looks away, I think last second before the truck hits Sabrina. But Jair is looking outside the window because he's stuck kind of looking to the side. And so that's why I'm like, is that the point where he got possessed?
I think that's the point when he got possessed, maybe.
But yeah, and so then fast forward and like a little bit, and you find out that like the reason why Jimmy wasn't there is because they were picking up their mom, the kid's grandma, Sarah. She's a cute little abuelita. And, you know, she's kind of like, oh, the kids, like, did you work things out with Sabrina? And it's just like, they're like, just get in the car. Just get in the car. Come on, let's go. Eventually, like, they stop to try to get ice cream.
And then Sabrina calls. And at this time, Pedro's like, he knows because he's the only one that's seen Sabrina die. And so he knows that it's not Sabrina on the phone. He takes the phone and he goes out to the head of the road and he speaks to not Sabrina. But
possess Sabrina.
Yeah, possess Sabrina. And she's like, you know, threatening him, be like, oh, you took my kids and I'm gonna get them back. And they started going through, you know, their history.
Yeah, which is kind of like you see a hint of it when he's in Jair's room.
Yeah.
And he's looking at the heater thing, and then like she brings up, it's just like, you try to kill our son because you were ashamed by burning our house down and blah blah blah. And I was like, damn.
Yep.
That's crazy.
It comes up again towards the end when he finds Uriel. Uriel starts talking shit. He brings it up again. So it's implied that it's true, you know, like he actually did try to kill his son. Yeah, like.
Which is crazy.
Yeah,
and it's
crazy.
kind of like a little sad. But like, and it's crazy because he's going out of his way to try to save his sons. But it's just like, dude, you already messed everything up with every decision from you guys finding out about the rotten Uriel in his bed to now is just like, there's no hope. And like in the car ride again, like they finally tell the grandma like what's been going on. And she's like, well, how do you know you saw it? And they're like, well, we're not sure. But like if you saw what we saw, like it's kind of hard not to believe we saw it, you know? And so like she's telling the 6 of the 7 rules to Santino, the younger son.
Yeah.
And, you know, just to kind of reiterate, number 1 is abandon all possessions. Number 2 is avoid animals. Number 3 is turn off electric lights, what we'll get into later. Number 4 is do not hurt the possessed. Number 5 is never say the name of evil. And number 6 is do not use firearms. And then number 7 we learn from Mirtha is do not be afraid, especially afraid to die. And the fact that the grandma starts naming
She names all of the
devil
devil
names.
names and stuff. And
She doesn't name all of them. She names some of them.
well,
Like
some
she's
of them,
like
yeah.
Lucifer
Yeah.
and Azriel. And
Yeah, I'm
it's just
like,
like,
bro, what the like? And you could tell like she knows the rules, but she doesn't believe in the whole possession thing. But it's like, weren't you alive when they had the whole like pandemic thing? Like,
yeah,
like
which is also an interesting thing because she has a rosary, but like in this world, like churches are kind of
they're no more.
dead.
Yeah.
They say like churches are dead, which means is like no one really goes to church. So it means that she probably lived through this and still is like, I still believe in God.
Yeah.
As true Catholic Latina.
Yeah, but when she mentions one of the devil's name, the kid, Jair, he is repeating the name, but everybody just thinks that he's moaning in the car because like that's what he's been doing in the car since they put him in there. He's like saying the name, and maybe
He's
that's
just
when
saying Azriel.
Maybe that's when he got possessed.
Do you think it's like a double whammy kind of situation?
Yeah.
I will say Jair kind of like repeating the name over and over. It reminded me of that one scene in Trick or Treat with the bus kids.
Oh, yeah.
And the kid with the vampire mask. He's like, home, home, like repeating that. And it just reminded me of that. Not that I laughed at it. I was just like, oh, I don't know. It just kind of clicked in my head. But yeah, so that's it's just crazy that she just started naming the names. And it's just like, bitch, what are you doing?
Yeah, I was like, dude, chill out, bro. Like, have we not learned about consequences this entire movie? That's what this entire movie is about.
It's about consequences.
Yeah, karma is always around the corner. Like in this world, at least, like karma is like literally there, immediate. It's almost like immediate, you know? Yeah. So basically, she's going through all these names, all the stuff that's happening, and then they get to
Murtha's house.
And you find out that Murtha and Jimmy has back in the day they used to date and stuff, and
yeah, they had a history together.
Yeah, and she even calls it. She was like, "Yeah, that boy Jair, he's possessed. Something wrong with that kid." And it's like,
but
no,
Jimmy is like,
he's like,
it's autism.
He has autism. She's like, "Yeah, I know that, but no, like he's possessed," and like.
They just dismiss it.
Yeah, and like right away you kind of understand that, okay, like she knows a lot. Like she can sense things.
And like her house has no electricity, which she mentions.
Yeah.
And because she says that man-made light attracts evil. And so it's just like, oh, interesting. You know?
Yeah.
So it's
I do want like a little bit more like lore explain. Like it's such an interesting.
It should have been a TV show. That's what I'm saying.
It's such an interesting ass world. It's so like uniquely like written, and I would like to have things be elaborated more because it's just so interesting.
Like I wish we would have seen a scene to show that what electricity does.
Yeah, or at least why it attracts evil and stuff. But
we don't get that. We just get kind of like, if we don't get it, we get it's part of the rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so like Pedro doesn't want to stay the night, but like the grandma is like, well, Jair pooped himself and we're all tired. And so like, it's just like, so we have no choice.
Yeah.
I think we learn a little bit that Murtha was like, she mentioned she was a cleaner. It isn't until like later on that she's with Pedro, but that's later. But either way, like they stayed the night and Pedro stays in the car with Jair because Jair refuses to come out. And while they're like resting, possessed Sabrina shows up. And just puts blood all over the car. And she goes upstairs where the grandma and Santino are sleeping. And she has Santino in her arms. And I don't know, I did like the scene where like she's like kind of slowly turning back and forth. So the grandma doesn't see how messed up she looks.
Yeah.
Which is interesting that some stay messed up and others don't. Like Vicky, no cuts, no dog marks, nothing.
I wonder if something like maybe happened to Sabrina like on the way to them, or maybe because you don't see Sabrina after she gets hit by the truck, right?
You see the implied hit.
Yeah, you see the implied hit, but you don't see the aftermath. So maybe it's from
No, you don't see the aftermath.
Yeah,
you just see little Vicky dancing, which is also funny that Vicky's not there, which means Vicky's wreaking havoc all over that town.
Yes, yeah. It's so funny.
Children are evil,
Yeah.
Raemon.
Yeah. Children never trust kids in scary movies. They get you killed or they're the ones doing the killing.
Yeah, for sure.
But but yeah, so the part I didn't understand, I was like, Pedro comes up because Sarah comes downstairs. But first, skipping a little bit ahead, it was cool because Mirtha was in the bed when Sabrina got into the yard. It cuts to Mirtha and she's in the bed and she's awake and she's like, something's going on, you know? And I was like, oh, snap. So she, like, nothing, like, no sounds or anything has been made yet. Like, but Mirtha's already, yeah, I feel something. Something's up. Basically, it cuts back to, I guess, Pedro.
Yeah, Pedro goes upstairs
Pedro
and
goes
Sabrina's
upstairs.
at the window with her son.
And the thing that bothered me the most there is that the whole time, you know, this isn't really Sabrina and she has her kid, right? And he's still at the door. Like, so the way the room is set up is that you have the entrance of the room, right? The door. And then I guess the room is big enough that it has like a balcony and stuff. And she's at the door of the balcony, like slowly backing up and walking out towards the balcony. This dude, Pedro, has no sense of urgency at all, leaning on the door frame. And I'm like, bro, like she's not in her right mind. Obviously, this is not like Sabrina. Why are you just sitting here and not like running after her before she like does something crazy?
Because, Raemon, men are useless.
I was like, bro, this is crazy. You just literally, you're watching this happen. Like, do you not want your kid at all? Like, you know? So she's like inching out, and she's like, you know, saying shit. And she jumps off the balcony. And then he ran. And
he like does like she just falls back, which is crazy.
And then like he runs and he's like, oh, no, Santino. And I'm like, now you want to call Santino's name. Like, now you want to try to go get him. And then he runs downstairs to where they would have fell, and she's not there. And he goes back to the car where Jair is and notices there's
sees the blood
all over the car. And we'll come back to that later. But I kind of have a feeling where the blood came from. I was just like, especially after seeing Sabrina after, I was like, dang, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, so Sabrina's gone with Santino.
Yeah, and this is the part that like it made me just like more frustrated with the men, because Mirtha is the one saying like, forget Sabrina, that kid is gone. We have to find Uriel, the original possession that started all this. And Pedro is like, no, I need to find my son. And so Jimmy is like, okay, I'll go find him because right now you're afraid and it'll affect you.
Yeah.
And you go with Mirtha. And I'm like, no, don't separate. This is everything that happens at this point. I blame Pedro and Jimmy, you know?
Well,
and
Jimmy,
like, it's just.
Well, Jimmy's just like, he's a character, but he's not really a character. Like, he's like, doesn't do much of anything for the entire movie. Like,
I know, like, he's there in the beginning and then like, he's not there during the family scene because he's picking up the grandma. And then he's not there again because he's going after Sabrina for his brother. And it's just like, no, Mirtha's like, we have to deal with this evil right now. And they're like, no, we can do two at once. And it's just like, okay, don't listen to the cleaner, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe because she's a woman, you know.
So basically, Pedro and Mirtha goes to find Uriel, and
they go to the spot that they think is where they last might have lost Uriel.
Yeah.
And I will give credit to this movie because it's kind of like a setup with like the child, and then you find out that Uriel is at a school, and it's just like, oh, the child must have found Uriel and tried to get him help, and then it just downhilled from there.
Yeah. Or that kid was probably already possessed and meant to stay in the road in the beginning so that they couldn't, you know, so that Uriel could. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Left up to interpretation.
Who knows? Children are evil. So. But this is the part where we learned a little bit of Mirtha's backstory, where she talked about how her and her husband used to run a fraudulent church, pretending to deal with the possessed until they ended up having an actual possessed person there.
Yeah.
And then eventually monks from Russia or something, or they just said monks showed up and showed them the way of how to deal with it. So like her and her husband basically like to atone for like their fraudulence became cleaners. And they, been dealing with like cleaning up the possessions that's been happening. At one point, the husband dies also.
Yeah, he went for cleaning and he didn't come back. So she was like, yeah, he dead. So.
And then she obviously retired.
Yeah, she like lives in the middle of nowhere. And she's like, oh yeah, you can only really escape evil once. And then
she was like, I lived this long because I was meant to deal with this evil.
Yeah.
Which I wish was true.
I wish.
But yeah, and then like to kind of like cut back, because we're gonna go back to like the school thing because it's a longer scene. But we see Jimmy does end up finding Sabrina and Santino, and like first time watching it, I was like, oh shit, that is crazy.
Yeah.
This time around, it was just like, oh, okay, it's there. You kind of barely see it, and I don't know if it's like that Mandela effect where like you fill in what you think you saw, But like Jimmy finds Sabrina walking down the dark road, and she's eating from Santino's brains because his head is cracked open.
Human popcorn bucket.
Yeah, human popcorn bucket. But what's interesting is like the scene, like it's dark and like she's too far to the side, so you kind of see glimpses of her doing that.
Yeah,
because they cut away real quick.
I was like, this is too much blood to be like hers, I feel like. And she's walking, and then he like drives next to her. Huh?
Do you think the blood on the car is she just decided to smack Santino all over the car?
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, I think she smacks Santino on the car until his head popped open, and then she just walked off. It was like, I worked up an appetite. Nom noms.
Crazy.
I'm hungry.
Nom nom nom. But yeah, and then like you were saying,
oh yeah,
he pulls up beside her.
Yeah, he pulls up beside her, and he's like, can't believe his eyes. He's like, bro, what the hell is that, Santino? And Sabrina right there, like he drives up on the side of her, drives past, and he's like shocked. And I do like the shot that they did there with the color. He's like all like blue gray toned out, and then behind him is like the red of the taillight stuff.
Yeah,
I do like that scene, but he lets her catch up, and he, is indeed confirmed his suspicion. So she walks ahead, and then he gets like real mad, upset, and then he just drives and hit her with the car, pulling her with the car until he hits the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is her head is like through the window, and she's like, you said you loved me. And I'm like, oh, did they have an affair?
Yeah, did they have an affair, dude? I was like, I don't know what was going on. Like, I wish we had more context with that, but even his brother was like, oh, you a lovebird or something like that.
Yeah, Jimmy gets around.
Yeah, so I was like, maybe he did. Maybe they did have an affair, which is crazy.
Maybe Santino's his son.
Bruh, oh my God. That's crazy. That's a crazy accusation.
That's Latin telenovela
it is, though.
writing right there. The relationship was getting rocky with Pedro, and she got it with Jimmy, and they got pregnant.
Oof, crazy. Yo, that would have been, that's a TV show right there. If you're listening, Demián, that's a TV show. But,
we see your Latin roots.
Yeah. But so that happens, and then it cuts back to them at school.
Yeah, because they end up finding the clues lead to the school kind of thing. They like everything is locked except for a door, and they get inside and they find a room full of children covered in like white powder. And Mirtha's like telling Pedro, it's just like, oh, don't mess with them. And Pedro's like asking questions, and she's like, no, like don't be aggressive. Don't be aggressive.
Yeah.
And Pedro's trying not to be, but you can tell he's like at his wit's end. And it's just like, just listen to the cleaner, dude. And like one of them does answer. A little boy answers and says, he's at my parents' house. We were taking care of him. And so they go to leave, and then the little girl runs out, and she's like, no, he's lying. He's at my house. And that's when Mirtha's like, oh, Uriel's here.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to lead us to a trap.
Yeah.
And Pedro's just like, well, we should check out the trap. And she's like, no, he's here, you idiot.
After he got done beating the shit out of this little girl. I'm like,
oh my
bro,
God.
what the heck? He
breaking all the rules.
Because when she runs out of the school, they're in the truck, and she's like, wait, like he's lying, whatever. Like she's at my house, and he like opens the door on her, hits her in the face with the door. Now she's on the ground, and he's like just smacking her. And I'm like, bro, like stop it, like chill out, man. There's still children at the end of the day. day. And like, if you were able to save them, right? Like, then your conscience would have been all messed up. You're like, oh yeah, I did smack. Sorry.
I don't think because I think maybe there's a reason why Sabrina had a restraining order besides him trying to kill their son.
Oh yeah, it probably was super abusive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
but
clearly he's a man.
Jesus Christ.
You started this, man.
But yeah, so basically he does that. After all that happens, they go back into the school, and
yeah, because Mirtha is the one that's like telling him, is like, stop smacking the child, Uriel is here, we have to find him.
Yeah.
And like, I think at that point, like, it was when they start pulling the floorboards, because they go to the auditorium and they pull the floorboards, and that's when they realize the white powder is lime.
Yeah, it's lime to cover up the stench
of the dead adults on top of Uriel to hide him. It is kind of funny when like Pedro eventually finds him and he's just like in the body's like, hello.
It's me.
It's me. You're gonna try to dick me out? And like, it is crazy for me that like she's setting up the device on the top of the floors while he's trying to break through them.
Yeah.
And she's telling him like, you have to pull him out because this device has to go into the back of his neck, but don't hurt him. And like, at no point is he's like, you don't understand how big this guy is.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like brings me to like my biggest thing is just like, this device is cool, but it's so impractical.
Yeah, it's not practical at all. They need a like a...
It is cool when she was talking about her backstory in the car and she was putting the device together to get it ready and then to put it together fully on the stage. But it's just like, how are you supposed to get anything done if you can easily get killed, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So like, while she is assembling this device, Uriel's talking shit, and the girl is like, oh, like, you have to kill him. There's an axe in the room there and all this stuff. And like, at this point, Uriel says something that breaks Pedro. I can't remember what he said, but he said something.
I think it involves like him talking about killing his son, right?
Yeah, I think it was something
or
like
trying to kill.
And at that point, Pedro loses it. He listens to the girl, like the possessed little girl that's telling him, hey, it's in this room back here. And then like...
And it's just like, you just learned they're possessed. What are you doing? And Bertha's like, don't leave me alone.
Yeah, she's like, no, don't leave me alone. And then like he goes back there anyway, and then he gets locked into the room. Okay, sure. And then you hear a bunch of tumbling going on, and Mirtha is like, no. And like, now she's getting dragged by these little kids. And the girl who was lying to Pedro the whole time takes a hammer and like hits Mirtha in the head repeatedly until, you know.
Yeah, a lot of smacks, like she's dead.
Yeah.
Which also is kind of like, my whole thing is just like, if Jimmy was there, they would have been able to deal with all of this.
Exactly.
But Pedro had to freak out about getting his son back, and Jimmy had to be the brother to be like, all right, you go with Mirtha, I'll go. And it's just like, no, you should have been like, Pedro, we got to listen to Mirtha. We'll deal with Sabrina later. But it's just like, no, Jimmy's not there. Pedro does stupid shit. And when he finally does break out of that room, and that's the Uriel popping up part.
Yeah.
And like,
like a potato, like a whack-a-mole, like out of this hole. He's like, oh.
It's just like, laughing. Why don't you kill me? Do it. And then that's when like Pedro takes one of the device, because the little demon children broke the device also.
Yeah.
And so like now it's useless, even though he probably wouldn't have been able to use it anyways because he doesn't know how to use it.
Exactly.
And then he bashes Uriel's head in with one of the parts. I think this part was cool that like the little blood naked child pops up, covered in like, it looked like wax. But obviously it's blood.
Like,
but I did like that he spares Pedro but marks him with 4 of his fingers across his forehead.
He basically helped bring him out, so he's like,
which I think is like a cool kind of like lore thing. It's just like, I wonder if there was other people who got marked. Like, what if that blood doesn't come off because it's demon blood, you know?
I think it's just like there as a permanent reminder of like his sins or whatever like that, or like that he helped this thing. It's like, you brought the end of the world because you couldn't keep your shit together. And this is your permanent reminder of that.
Which is so good.
Yeah.
I think that part was great. I did like that part, you know, and then obviously Pedro gets back to Mirtha's house without Mirtha. Jimmy also shows up. And also, we didn't mention this part because a lot of shit happened. But while they're out of the house, Jair gets out of the car at some point and he walks into the house unassisted and is speaking directly to his grandma saying like, oh, I'm cold, and can you feed me? I'm hungry. And Sarah is like confused, the grandma.
She already knew at
and
that
then
point
you find
that
out,
something was wrong.
So she's just like, oh no, you know, and like kind of going back a little bit when they go to the bloody car, because like they're checking on Jair and she's pointing to Jimmy, just like, look at his hands.
Yeah.
They're all twisted. He's possessed. It's not autism at this point, you know, which is also interesting. She's just like, let's hope that the demon stays locked in his mind because he's autistic. But obviously, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
Because he got double possessed, I guess. And yeah, so then kind of fast forwarding back when they get back to Mirtha's house, Jair is pretending to be autistic and you find out that like the grandma is dead because Jimmy crying and he's like, don't go in there kind of thing, you know? And so then they decide to head back to their home in the beginning and like Pedro's trying to wash the blood off, but he didn't wash the forehead mark, which is why I'm like, oh, it's probably like, it's either like he forgot to wash it or it's a permanent thing.
Yeah,
and I hope it's a permanent
I think he tried to wash it, but then he noticed that it wouldn't come off.
Yeah. Like he even like in the mirror is just trying to like, and it's just like not coming off. At that point, Jimmy does like a parameter check, I guess. And he finds Eduardo, Uriel's brother, in the shed holding the gun.
Yeah.
And like you find out, which is also like a nice attention to detail kind of thing that I appreciate, because in the beginning they talk about like, oh, a revolver was shot because 5 shots were shot. And then during the scene when Ruiz was gonna shoot Uriel before he decided to just move him, Eduardo's looking to the side and there's a revolver under blankets. And you're like, oh, was Eduardo the one that killed the cleaner? But why would he kill the cleaner? And then you find out at the end is because he was possessed too.
Yeah.
And he talks about how he killed the cleaner, and as he was moving the cleaner to feed to Ruiz's pigs, he also ate him. And then he talks about how after they took Uriel, he ate his mother also. And then they're like, oh, like, because he says like, because they were like, what happened to your mom? And Eduardo's like, the same thing that happened to your mom with your nephew. And then we get back to the scene where like Pedro gives Jair ice cream, and as he's eating it, he starts choking and he starts pulling out hair from his mouth. And I was like, ooh, brother.
Ooh, brother. Ooh.
And then he pulls out the rosary that the grandma had. And then Jair does the little like the little side eye.
He's like, oh shit, I'm found out.
Where he's just like, it's like, I feel like that was like a hint for the audience kind of thing, you know? Because obviously Pedro didn't see it because he's freaking out about the blood and the hair and the rosary. And then the movie ends with Pedro walking out of the house and Jimmy's like, what happened? And like Pedro's just like in despair screaming.
Yeah, he's screaming. Yeah. I don't know if it implied that maybe he had to kill a son or something like that, you know, or if he just did.
If he did, he broke rule number 4.
Well, at that point, it's already done, right? Like they already birthed like the thing. So I don't know. I don't know how that works after its birth, but
I mean, technically, from what we kind of like learned, like Pedro and Jimmy should have been possessed.
Yeah, it should have been.
They hurt and then eventually killed possessed people, but they aren't.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You can only assume they have strong minds, but I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But guys, that was When Evil Lurks. It was good. It was a good movie. If you guys are still interested, even after hearing all this, then I think it definitely is worth a watch. Even listening to us talk about it, I think it is definitely worth the watch still. But
it's worth A first-time watch.
Yeah, a first
Whether or
time
not
watch.
you watch it a second time, it's up to you.
Yeah. Or maybe you can watch it with your friends too. See everybody's
Yeah.
reaction. I think that'd be fun. It's one of those ones movies that I was like, oh man, like I can imagine watching this movie in a movie theater with a bunch of people there. It would
Oh,
have been
and all those scenes, yeah.
yeah, it would have been a lot more entertaining to like more of an experience, I guess.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
of an experience with an
Yeah.
audience.
Yeah.
A good audience.
But yeah, I think watch it by yourself, watch it with a friend. I think it's worth every penny. I do not regret the 99 minutes I lost of my life. So
Yeah, I'm not saying that I didn't enjoy it. I'm just
mhm.
saying it just went down half a star.
Yeah, I respect that.
Would I watch it again? Maybe in a few years.
hmm
I need time between.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it. I don't know if I would watch it again. Maybe if I'm introducing it to a friend or something like that, and like we're all watching
Oh
it
yeah,
together.
if we were
Then
watching it with one of our friends who are into horror.
yeah. But I think 3 times for me is enough. And I don't really rewatch movies. Like you guys don't know me that well or anything like that, but like I don't rewatch movies. If I'm rewatching movies, it's good. I think it's like really good. So
I'm the opposite. I am a repeater, especially if it's really good.
mhm.
If it's bad but entertaining, I will watch it but make our friends watch it.
Yeah.
For example, The Editor,
Yeah.
which I want to cover.
Okay. So bad that it has
It's so bad but good. He's a passionate lover, Ramon. But yeah, no, this movie, like we said, it is good. It's a great first time watch. Watch it with a friend. Just remember, the movie is in Spanish.
Yes.
So don't be looking at each other making comments. You got to
Mhm.
look at the screen.
Yeah, please watch in Spanish. Please. Like
I don't think there's an English audio.
I don't know either, but if there is the option, just watch it in Spanish. You won't regret it.
Yeah, you won't regret it. But yeah, and
Yeah.
so I think at this point, we can kind of go into like other movies, maybe shows, maybe
Yeah.
games.
What's some
Uh,
movies coming up that you want to
Well, I
watch?
want to say first things first.
Mm-hmm.
Obsession and Backrooms killing it in the box office.
Yes. Those
I
movies
want to see
are
Obsession again so bad though.
so goddamn good. That's like I shit you
It's
guys not. That is my favorite movie of the year so far.
my ranking was right.
Yeah. It's so good.
It is so good. It is past 100 mil worldwide.
Yeah.
And it's every week has been accumulating like another mil
Mm-hmm.
each time, which is amazing.
It's that word of mouth.
Yeah. And then Backrooms already made its money, I think, like the first weekend also
Yeah.
that it came out.
And wasn't Backrooms like cheap to make?
It was at 10 mil, which is, I feel, is the standard starting horror movie
Oh, so no, was it
budget.
Obsession? Was it Obsession that was like 700 and something, 700,000?
Yeah. So Obsession was 750K.
Yeah. Crazy.
Backrooms was 10 mil to make.
Mm-hmm.
But both movies killed it, making all its money back and more.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that the cast and crew gets bonuses because they deserve it.
They definitely do. Yeah. I have not seen Backrooms yet. I do want to see it. I did hear it was kind of slow, but for me, like
It's very slow.
Yeah, for me, I don't mind the slow stuff as long as this has like pretty good payout. And if the atmosphere
I
and
will
everything-
say, because I did see Backrooms, I didn't sleep well that night. So when I saw it at 12 p.m., I was starting to nod off, but that's only because I was really tired and I was fighting sleep. But it does pick up at a certain point. It's just, it is really, really slow. But when we watch Backrooms, we'll cover it because I don't want to go too deep into it.
Yeah.
We will definitely cover Obsessions when it comes out on home video because when it comes out on Blu-ray, first day buy. That movie was so good. It's on my mind since I watched it. But to kind of go over June movies, we have first Hungry, which is a horror movie based on the Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Oh my God. That's going to be great.
The summary is after becoming lost in the Louisiana swamplands, a group of holiday makers must fight for their lives against a rampaging hippo on the loose.
Yes, I see. Okay, I did see the trailer for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That comes out June 3rd. By the time this episode releases, it will definitely already be out.
Yes.
Next movie on the list is Scary Movie, the 6th installment of the Scary Movie series. And in true requel fashion, they just named it Scary Movie with no number.
Yeah.
And, we got our favorites coming back: Anna Faris, Regina Hall, Marlon and Shawn Waynes, and several others that I think have been in the past. I think I saw, what's his name? It's the slow cop that turned out to be the killer. That's a spoiler.
Dewey.
Dewey.
Yeah.
I think I saw Dewey was back.
Yeah, I think, he's back.
So they're back. That comes out June 5th. Then we have, it's like a modern Bonnie and Clyde thriller called Carolina Caroline. And it has Samara Weaving and Kyle Gallner in it.
Oh, Samara Weaving's there?
And it's about, Samara Weaving's in it. She had several horror movies aside from Ready or Not to come out. There are some I definitely want to cover. The movie's about a young woman joins a charming con man on the run, leaving a trail of crime and passion as they hustle through the Southeast in search of her estranged mother. And so that has, it's like I say, it's like a modern kind of like Bonnie and Clyde, but like more sexy thriller. And then we have Leviticus, that we talked about in the last episode, that comes out June 19th.
Yes, sir.
And then we have, which we saw.
I feel like Leviticus is going to be a sleeper. I'm just going to say that.
Yes, I also feel it's going to be a sleeper. But it's an Australian film, and I feel like Australian films definitely go hard in the horror. Then we have, I think we saw this trailer in Obsession. It's Evil Dead Burn.
Yes. They showed in literally every scary movie trailer. Like, I'm like, well, we went to go see, wasn't Backrooms. What was the movie that we saw before Backrooms? Holcomb. Yeah. So we saw Holcomb. It was on that one. And then I think it was on the one before that one too. So, and then there's all over YouTube. I can't miss it.
Yeah. It comes out July 10th.
I'll be there.
I feel like it's the standard Evil Dead, kind of movie. I thought it was interesting. From what I remember, the director for this film, for Evil Dead, is the same director that did the French horror bug movie called Infested.
Oh, I think I heard of that.
Which I did watch. And all I can think about is Aisha.
Nah, I think that she ain't watched.
Aisha, just, if she were in that situation, she would have jumped out of a window.
Yeah.
We love you, Aisha.
That's my wife.
You mean my wife. And then there's a couple movies I did wanted to mention that I forgot to mention previously in our first two episodes. The first one is Faces of Death.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like...
It's like a reboot.
It's like a reboot. It's like either a sequel or a reboot. It's weird. It's not like the Faces of Death, which your dad has recommended us to do a lot. To watch. He's always... Every time I met him and we talk about horror movies, he's like, have you guys seen Faces of Death?
He was like, that's a scary movie that I still have nightmares about. I'm like, all right, Dad. All right, old man.
Yeah, we'll cover that movie for your dad.
Yeah.
I definitely want to see the new one.
Yes.
Sometime. Not anytime soon, but we'll cover it for the episode. I know it has Dacre Montgomery, and I think it's Barbara Ferreira. I know she's from Euphoria. Whatever.
Oh, okay.
And then the other movie, and I know you wanted to watch this, is Undertone.
Yes. Undertone is amazing.
It's on HBO Max. If any of you guys want to see it, another movie we will cover in the future when we figure out our schedule.
It's only fitting for us to do it since it's a horror movie about podcasts.
I know, right?
We're doing a horror movie podcast.
Yes. Maybe we'll do it this year since it's on HBO Max. And we should definitely watch it before they remove it.
True.
And then, I just wanted to kind of like cover some shows. Currently, that's running on Apple TV is Widow's Bay. And it's I watched the first episode. It is very Stephen King-esque, but with humor.
Okay.
And so like it is a horror comedy. Matthew Rice is in it, and I know Hamish Linklater is in it.
Oh,
but he comes in later. Yeah. I think I remember reading, I hope it's true, a quote from Hamish Linklater that said, I jumped at the opportunity to get this part because I am the only one who can mess up isolated islands. Because he did Midnight Mass.
Yeah.
Which I love, so and I hope we cover.
Yeah.
It's so good. We have to figure out the structure for that, but that's future episodes when we're more comfortable in our skin, because each episode is us finding our path.
Yeah. One that I hope that we cover is From.
Yes. And
It's so
I did
good.
get a bit of a spoiler from it, and it
Mhm.
makes me wanna watch it more.
Don't spoil it here.
And I'll tell I won't spoil it here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you after the podcast, but
Yeah.
I wanna watch from, and I would love to cover it.
Yeah, I watched the first season, but then because the first season you can watch for free somewhere, I think on Amazon or something like that.
Yeah, it's on Prime.
Yeah, and then the second season is on MGM Plus, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh man, like the hell."
You know what that means. One of us has to do the trial, watch all the
Yeah,
episodes,
yeah. I'll
so we
I'll
can
I'll
do
do a
this.
trial and give you the password.
Another show, I didn't realize it was an anthology until I saw it's The Terror, Devil in Silver. It is the 3rd season. I don't know what the 2nd season's about. I didn't deep dive too much into it, but the
Mhm.
1st season was about the ships that get stuck in the North Pole and like
Oh, that sounds familiar.
yeah. Our boy Dan Stevens is in this.
Dan Stevens.
I love him so much. He's so good. So, yeah, it's the 3rd season of this horror anthology series, and another one I hope we can cover. And then the last one is a remake called Cape Fear, which is based on a book, and there were 2 adaptions that was in 1962 and 1991. And I think the 1991 has Nick Nolte. If I'm wrong, I will cut this part out. But this current iteration has Amy Adams,
Mhm.
Javier Bardem, and Patrick Wilson,
Okay.
another Scream King. And then to jump into games, I have 4 games that I listed on here.
Mhm.
One of them is Until Dawn 2.
Oh yeah, the guy who plays Asterion, he's like one of the main characters in it.
Yeah, Neil Newbon.
Yeah.
Janina Gavankar, Decree Montgomery, and our man Peter Stormare are in this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this time it's a crew of ghost hunters that end up on an island that's actually haunted and must survive the ancient horrors that inhabit it. Which I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it's whatever.
Man,
It's Until Dawn.
don't quote me on this, but maybe we can do a playthrough and upload it on our channel.
Why? So everyone can see me kill every single character I play.
We'll see us kill every character.
You have better reflexes than I do. I hate QTEs.
Yeah, it is what it is. I think it'll be fun.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's also a future, like once we get a good following,
Mm-hmm.
we'll drop we're doing a Twitch, I believe that Until Dawn 2, they're looking to come out in next year in 2027.
Yep.
The next one, this does not have any dates, but they did drop a teaser, and it's Alien Isolation 2.
Yeah, I can't
And
wait.
I
It's probably
love
gonna be next year.
Alien Isolation. I haven't played it. I watched a couple playthroughs, and I think Michael played it
Mm-hmm.
also for me. And I was like just giddy, just eating popcorn, just like, this is amazing.
Yeah,
Watch out.
the first one's really good. I think a common criticism for it was that the pacing was a little off, but it was still great.
Yeah.
It was still awesome.
Oh yeah.
So good that it has.
I think the problem is like the problem with the pacings of those kind of games is a lot of it is dependent on you sneaking around.
Yeah.
And there's no way to kill the enemy kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're kind of beholden to how the pacing is because you're trying not to get caught.
Mm-hmm.
And every time you get caught, you have to restart,
Yeah.
which is fine. But
Yeah.
the next game on the list is Silent Hill Townfall.
Yeah. It's their first black
It's a
protagonist, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Playing a black man.
Yeah, man.
It is a standalone spin-off of the Silent Hill franchise. I think similar to how Silent Hill F
Yeah.
was a standalone.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing as I don't think it's a mainline game, but they said like the radio in that game is supposed to be like a mechanic.
Mm.
So like the little radio that he has with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a huge
But yeah, it's set in 1996 in the fictional Scottish town of St. Amelia. It follows Simon Ordell after he wakes up in a place he seemingly has no connection to.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I think they were saying that he's like a drug addict or something like that, or was a drug addict. So it's probably a lot of the stuff that you'll see in Silent Hill world is probably going to be like drug abuse related.
Yeah. Which in Silent Hill F had drug-like things that affected the story.
Mm-hmm.
not to kind of spoil, but and then they said that this comes out September 24th, 2026. And then finally, another one I'm most excited about and also does not have freaking date is the remake for Resident Evil Code Veronica.
Yeah.
But they shortened it to Resident Evil Veronica.
Yep. Yeah, it comes out next year, supposedly. But they
supposedly.
Yeah, they only give us a year. They didn't give us like a date. So I'm assuming that it'll probably be like March or something.
No, for sure. I know they probably took it out because they're trying to ground the series more, but I hope that the one villain still has the dolphin laugh.
Yeah, they're gonna absolutely take that out, but I hope so. I hope so. They just keep that one thing in, Capcom, please.
If we make a short, I want you to clip this and then put that part in it.
That'd be great.
But yeah, I love the Resident Evil games, which we'll cover one day. Yeah. A lot of covering. We're still in the beginnings. We're still in our infancies.
Yeah, bear with us. We're getting good at this, We're getting okay. We're getting pretty okay with it. But yeah, just bear with us. We'll get better in time. But yeah, I mean, let us know in the comments how we do. Like, we're open to criticism constructively.
Constructively, don't be an ass.
But yeah, we love to hear from you guys and see what you guys think, and then we can fine tune to you guys' needs because we're doing this for you. We're having fun.
We're doing it for us.
Yeah, we're doing it for us. Yeah, you guys are secondary.
But we want you to keep coming back.
Yeah. So we've got this symbiotic relationship.
In order for this to continue, we need you.
Yes. Exactly.
But again, we appreciate you guys listening, especially to the end of this episode.
I know it's a little bit longer than we usually are, but it's all good fun.
I think it's because we just started recapping the movie.
Yeah, recap the whole thing. But now you guys don't feel like you missed anything.
And we didn't jump around.
Yeah,
so
not as much.
But either way, we appreciate you guys. Again, you can find us at some of the socials, not all of them, at elnochepodcast. We're trying to see how we get on Apple Music.
Yes.
But you can obviously listen to this on Spotify and YouTube, which I do the videos. So all those images that you see popping up, it's me putting them in.
She works hard.
No, we both work hard.
You work hard. It's fine.
No, this is a team effort.
Shut up. We cut all this out. But anyway.
I will not. I decide what keeps in and keeps out. But yes, thank you for listening and hope to see you next time for episode 4, As Above, So Below.
Heyo. Bye.
Bye.